Hey guys, over here for our Wheels in Japan playlist. This piece of road is in Gifu in central Japan, and this particular stretch of road has the highest altitude of any part of the national highway system. So at 1080 meters, it has the highest altitude of any part of the national highway system. So this is taken at the end of February, where it's starting to warm up a bit. If you come through here in January, you could expect to see a couple of meters of snow, at least 2 or 3 meters of snow either side of the highway, and probably the highway covered in snow as well, with snow plows driving up and down the highway trying to keep it clear. And it can be really severe. The snow flurries and snow storms that we get up here, this part of Gifu, can be quite severe. So obviously most of winter they have special rules where you have to have snow tyres or chains, or you won't be allowed to drive on that part of the highway at all. And they do actually check. We showed you a video once before where they actually funneled all the traffic into one lane and then individually checked every vehicle to make sure that they had snow tyres or chains. But quite spectacular. This service area is really popular because it's the service area in this particular stretch, and as you can see, it's quite spectacular, surrounded by the Alps. And there's actually a ski park right behind the place here, so it's always spectacular scenery here. In winter it looks like this. There's a ski park over there. So in winter it looks like this, but pretty well any time of the year it's quite spectacular, quite beautiful, if the weather's clear. Obviously in the middle of those snow flurries you can't see much at all. It can be you can get quite a whiteout on that highway. We've driven that highway before where we could only drive at 20 kilometers an hour because it was so severe, just really blowing, and the visibility was right down to a few meters and quite severe, quite exciting in fact. So you'll notice as we come out of here onto the highway that they have the markers either side of the road. Those of you who come from snowy places will recognise them. You can see them beside the road there, the red and white poles. And during the heavy snows, that's all you can see. Everything else, those guardrails and everything else, disappear, and all you have to go on is those red and white poles. They usually put a few more out too. When it's heavy like that, they come along and stick lots of them along the side of the road as markers so you can see how wide the road is. So quite beautiful. Quite an amazing stretch of highway this. There's a lot of tunnels, including perhaps one of the longest tunnels in Japan. Something like 54 tunnels on this particular piece of highway. And also the highest bridge is 80 meters, an 80 meter high bridge at one point, because as you go along this highway it's tunnels and then bridges and tunnels and bridges as the bridges go across the valleys, like we're on right there. And they're actually making a new bridge right there. And the highest one's 80 meters, which is quite spectacular. Look over the edge of that and see a village down below. Spectacular. Japanese highway system, as we've showed you lots of times before, is quite amazing. Anyway, there it was. Highest piece of highway in Japan. More videos coming soon.